Hi everybody, good afternoon. This is Joyce from BoQ Creations. I'm a little hoarse today, so I just want to apologize. I have a little bit of a sore throat, so I'm going to try to make this quick today because I just don't want to keep talking because my throat is really scratchy today. But I wanted to come to you guys, and hello Terry, thanks for watching. Good morning, good afternoon Sandy. See, it's been a week. We've all been sick here. When the weather goes down to 60 degrees here in Florida, we all tend to go crazy. I know that you guys that are suffering with like below 0 degrees, I don't know how you do it. We can't handle it less than 70. But anyway, I wanted to come to you guys and show you these new dies this week. But first, I wanted to announce the winner. Hi, Cherie. Nice for you to come. Hi, Pam. I wanted to announce, I played a little game this past week because my desk was a mess. It had stuff from Valentine's, it had stuff from Christmas, it had stuff from all different things, and I thought if anybody saw my desk right now, they would think I was crazy. So I thought I'd play a game, and those of you that played with me, I really appreciate. So the tool that I'll be giving away is one of these life-changing brushes. I love them. They're my favorite. You're going to see me use them today. So Miss Verna Bolt, thank you for playing. If you will private message me with your address, I will send you this lovely brush and you can add it to your collection of tools on your desk as well. Joseph says it's easy coming to Colorado. No, thank you. I think you guys owe degrees to somebody because you guys were like minus something. But anyway, thank you for playing my game the other day. It was really fun. I liked seeing what everybody was working on. But I wanted to show you this new product that I just got in my studio. It is from Birch Press Designs, and they are out of Seattle. In case you can't understand what I'm saying, I thought I would go ahead and show you it's Birch Press Design. And you can find them at birchpressdesign.com. I liked these dies because, well, several reasons. The first thing was I thought that it gave a spectacular dimensional look. I don't know if you guys can pick up that that's 3 different layers on there. So it's the green, the red, and the white, and they cut out all differently. So so some of the holes, in other words, like these, you will see on the first one, you will, sorry, I keep hitting the camera. You'll see that there's these holes here, and then you can see the red underneath it. And then in some of the holes you can see the green showing through, and then some of them you can see the red. So depending on what layer it is, and I'll show you that in just a minute, depending on what layer it is, you get a different look. But these are made in the United States. They're 100% steel, and I thought I would go ahead and show you guys. They come in a 3 set, layer A, B, and C. And when you open them, they come in these envelopes, so there's not a lot of product waste, not a lot of plastic. It's kind of interesting packaging. And the design on the outside matches the die. Hi, Charmin. Thank you for watching. It matches it, so if you mix them up or forget which die it is, then you can just compare it to the package. But what I did was I went ahead and wrote like A, B, and C on the back of the die. That way I know what layer I was working on. So this one is A, and it does come with a little topper thing on it. So that's layer A, and then layer B is a little bit smaller than layer A, and it has different holes. So on this one right here, as you're looking at it, you'll see that it has 3 holes that go like this, and then on this one it's a little bit different. So that way on some of them it's showing through one color to the next layer, and on other ones they're not. So then on layer C, it's even different yet because it's only got 1 set of holes, and the holes here are smaller. So they do have a bunch of these dies. I apologize. They were supposed to come in before this video, but they did not. So I went ahead with what I had planned anyway, but they have a bunch of them that do this. This just happens to be the ornament. So everything that I made today, I'm going to be making with this ornament. But I wanted to show you because I like to get mileage out of my dies. I don't like to just cut them and do the same thing over and over again. So basically these are layering dies, and that's what they do. But I wanted to find different ways that I could use them so that, I could create with them all season long rather than just making, individual you know, ornaments or something of that nature. So I'm going to move these aside. So these are some of the ones that I created, and I was going to show you what was unique about each one of them. So on this one right here, I decided to use pattern paper, and I went for kind of a vintagey look because my paper was that way. So I thought, I wonder what would happen if I used the vintage paper. And so you can see that there's 3 different layers of pattern paper underneath here. Well, then what was unique about this was these 3 layers right here, I actually punched the green out. Let me show you underneath. I actually punched the green out for another card, and then I thought, what a neat concept to be able to use the die, you know, the castaway, or what I would have thrown away normally, and then make a card out of that. So I used these 3 layers and then layered the ornament on top of it. Hi, Kathy. Thank you for coming. Oh my gosh, did your yard sale go well? Kathy is in the midst of moving, and she's was having a yard sale, so I hope you did well, Kathy. So this card right here, I used the tonic foil paper, the mirror card, and I just thought that this came out amazing. If you look real close, you can see the light green underneath, and then the medium green, and then the dark green. Isn't that gorgeous? And so just with that die, I made, that is in the entire focal point of the card right there. This piece and this piece came from just some designer series paper that I had laying around, and I thought, you know, how neat would it be for them to be able to take this ornament right off the card and hang it on the tree. So I just tucked that in right behind my layer there, and it became an ornament / card. So when I send it to somebody, they can actually pull it right off the card. It's just being held on by a foam dot right there, and then hang it on the tree. So I thought that's kind of a neat idea. Then they can just use the ornament themselves. So even, you know, just, it's a die, it's a layered die, but you can use it as an ornament. Why not? And then I have a friend that absolutely adores purple. So I thought, well, let me see if I can make an ornament or something using purple. So if you look back here in this layer right here, I actually embossed it and then Versamarked it, and I didn't like the way it looked, so then I put some purple chalk on it from my pan pastels, and I didn't quite like that either. So then I thought, well, I wonder if I cut out a layer and make it the same as this layer, how that would look. Well, then it was too purple. So then I just kind of cut off a layer A, and I offset it just a little bit, and that's how I got the rim around it. So it's actually got chalk, it's actually got embossed, and I use this little stone here from the tonic ones that I'll show you in a minute. So these were just some things that I had made with them. And then this other technique that I came up with, well, I didn't come up with it, but I used it to do this card. And I thought, because I like mileage out of my dies, I want to be able to do something with my dies that, you know, beyond just die cutting. So that's what I did to make this card. And this is what I'm going to show you how to do today. So this is actually a 1-layer card. There's no die cuts on here. I actually used the die cuts to make a stencil, and then I stenciled through it and then did a whole bunch of other things to it. So let me go ahead and show you how I did this. And then I'll show you one other sample that I did. And I hope you guys don't mind my froggy voice. I'm trying my best here today. Okay, so I cut out the 3 pieces, layer A, B, and C. And I've already made one card, so that's why these are already colored. So these became my dies. This is, I'm sorry, my layers. So this was layer A, the slider one. And this was layer B. And this is layer C. So even if you just use these individually, you would not have to layer these if you wanted to. If you wanted a lot of definition, you could use this one. If you just wanted a really pretty ornament, or you could make 3 different ornaments on a card. Why not? Why couldn't you layer those on a card and just make a card just like that? Hey, Catherine, thanks for joining us. I just saw you pop up. So why couldn't you do that? You know, I mean, you could use them just as ornaments on a card and without even layering them. But if you layer them, layer C, that's the darker blue one, and then layer B goes right on top. See if you guys can see. Can you see that? Can you see how it's starting to, let me bring it a little bit closer, because I don't think you guys can appreciate how pretty that is when you're that far away. So when you layer that next layer right on top of it, because it's a little bit smaller, you can see that next color right underneath. And then if you take the A layer and you put it on top of that one, it makes this unbelievable, hi Sherry, it makes this unbelievable 3-color ornament. And they have one, what made me do these colors is because I've got one coming in that's a peacock, and it was absolutely amazing in these 3 colors. So I thought, well, let me go ahead and color the white paper. So what I decided to do was I said, well, I wonder if I take my pixie spray, which if you guys have never used this, this is awesome. If you have trouble with your stencils, you spray this on the back of your stencil. Hi, Tilda. On the back of your stencil, and then it makes it lightly tacky, and then that way it won't move on you. So I spray it with the pixie spray. All of this stuff I have in my shop, by the way. So if any of you guys find something that you like, let me know and I can get it out to you. So I first took the first ornament and I used the faded jeans. Actually, I'm sorry. Let me go back. I did this backwards. So I did the first layer A first because I wanted to have the lightest color, because I know when I do my distress inks, I like to do my light to dark. So I used layer A. I used my smallest my smallest brush, and I just took and picked up some ink, and my stencil is going to stay put here because I put that pixie spray on the back of it. So I know Tilda was here when we got these in. Yes, Catherine, I do have these dies in stock. There are going to be more of them coming in. They were supposed to be here today, but they didn't get here. So I'm thinking they'll probably be in at 9 o'clock tonight. So anyway, but if you go to birchpressdesigns.com, you can see some of the other dies that I'll be having in, or I can just send you, just message me. So I take my brush and I just go over this lighter layer here, and I'm just kind of intentionally going outside of my stencil because I want to really, really make this ink all over the card, because this is going to be my lightest layer, and when we go and put the 2 layers over top of them, it's going to not make very much of a difference that you can see outside of this. But I wanted it to kind of, be the focal point of my card here. And I thought, sometimes people say, well, I, try to mail these things and the embellishments get in the way. And, so that's what I like about doing some of these cards that are 1 layer. Okay. So I'm just making sure right now that my brush has gotten into all the little spots. Okay. Ta-da! Okay, so that's layer 1, or layer A, and I use the tumbled glass distress ink first. So the second one I'm going to do is the salty ocean, and I'm going to go in with layer B, and I'm going to put that right over top of it. Now you're really going to see how this shows up here in just a second by putting the second color. It looks like it's the same exact size, and it looks like, nothing else is going to happen to it, but watch when you actually put the ink over top of it and then you remove the layer. It is unbelievable. So I'm intentionally going outside of the die here. Oops. I hit that and my thing came apart. But it's okay. We'll fix it. But I like the way that these colors blended, and I thought, you know what? Sometimes Christmas doesn't have to be red and green. Sometimes it can be blue and silver. And so I'm intentionally spreading this ink outside of I sprayed my pixie spray on it yesterday, and so I probably need to do it again, because it's tacky, but it's not as tacky as I would want it for this demonstration right now. But I'm just going to go outside of my die here, or my die cut, because I'm trying to get to my outer edge. Now watch what happens when I remove that. Look, and that's just 2 layers. That's just the first and second layer. So if you can achieve that, imagine if you did like grays or silver, or, you know, and this is just this is a single layer. So it looks so dimensional, but you know, it doesn't have anything that's going to get smashed in the mail. Okay. So then that color was Salty Ocean. And now I'm going to use the Faded Jeans and the last layer. And again, the outer part of the die actually matches all three of them, but what the inner part, and let me see if you guys can see this right now. If you look at this, even before I start inking, let me get that on there so you can see. You can see the light colored dots. That really shows up. So anywhere where you see light colored dots, those are all going to turn dark. So that's the unique part about these dies and them stacking like that, is some of the elements get detail and some of them don't. So every dot that's in a different place, you're going to get a different color showing through there, which I thought is kind of awesome, especially when you're trying to, you know, do something like this. Okay, so I'm going to take my brush again, and I'm going to go in here with this darkest color. And again, I'm going to go just outside of my die cut because I want that ink to be spread all over my card, because I'm trying to make this the focal point. And I'm just really getting in there with this ink. And I thought to myself, how pretty will these little ornaments be after I've done all this inking? I could use the ornament itself as part of an element for a card. Why not? Why throw them away? Just because you made a stencil out of them doesn't mean that you can't use them for something. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Isn't that beautiful? Could you imagine that peacock tail with these colors? Oh, that would just be gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. And in case you missed that, Joseph, that's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous 3 or 4 more times. I got to mess with Joseph a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to take the lightest color tumble glass, and I'm just going to go back in, and this area right here, I'm going to fold this in half so that I can tell where my card ends. And I'm just going to go in and do the rest of the area around. And I'm just creating that white space there as part of, you know, blending these inks together. And then now this ornament is now part of my card. Now, you could leave that just like that. I'm sure that that would be, I've gone in there with my Nouveau products on the sample card, and I used the glitter accents on some of them. Let me go ahead and, so I took this and I went into some of the areas and I just dropped a little bit of those glitter accents in there, you know, just in random spots where you could put that in there. You could use your Nouveau crystal drops. See, this is the glitter accents, and it's the ballroom blue. This is the crystal drops. I also went in there with these, and I thought, you know what, I could make, oops, guess what just happened? Now see, that's what happens when you get ahead of yourself, ladies and gentlemen, and you don't open that on another area. So I'm going to scrape that off. My class laughs at me because they say I can fix anything. They say anytime something happens, don't worry, Joyce can fix it. So I'm going to fix this because we did all this work and I don't want to. Okay, there we go. So I always usually do this off on my mat to make sure that there's no air coming out and I get a burp like that. But I didn't do it that time, and you know, that's why we're live, because we like to see the accidents happen. So I'm just doing drops, and these will level, they'll self-level, so I'll have like little pearl drops there. So, okay, so then you can use your Nouveau drops and you can have little pearls on there. I thought, what about the glitter drops? I could probably go in here with that. Let's not have another accident. So I could do with the glitter drops, and I could go in here, and that's what I did on the card. Everywhere where there was a dark circle, I just kind of went over it with a glitter drop, and I thought that's pretty enough. So you could just do that if you wanted to. Well, the other day I got these things called water droplets from Nouveau Tonic the other day. And look at those. Aren't those beautiful? I could just imagine these being like in a black velvet bag and like, you know, diamond smugglers or something trying to, because they're so pretty. But anyway, so I thought, well, let me see if I can use those somehow. And then I also got these silver petals. See, Tilda said Joyce can fix anything. They know, if I can't fix it, we cover it. That's what we do. So then I also got these too, which I thought were really pretty, and they come in several different sizes. So I said, well, I wonder what I can do to put these on the card and see if I can add those. And so all I did, let me bring my sample back in here. So all I did was I took the silver petals and I glued them onto each one of the centers of each one of the outer ones, and then I put the water droplets on the inside because they're kind of shaped like teardrops, and I thought that would be really pretty on that area right now. Diamond smugglers, I know. Well, if they're this pretty, Charmin, how could you not? Look at that. Like, that's just a gorgeous bottle of gorgeousness, I think. Don't you? Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I mean, who would not want that, right? Anyway, so I do have these in stock as well. So these came in. So I thought, well, I have to use these. And so if you're wondering how to attach them, you can do one of two ways. I used the Nouveau Smooth Precision Pin, and I just took my tweezers. Oops, let me find one of the smaller ones. There we go. And I just took my tweezers, which I can't seem to locate at the moment, so I'm going to use my finger. And I just squeezed out some of the glue right here, just a little bit. And then you can take your pen also and use that and just attach it, because the tip of the pen is sticky after you put the glue on it. So you could just drop a little bit and then grab your next one. I just dumped them out all on my mat, and then I found my little one, and then I pick it up with the tip of the pen. Well, you know, nothing's going to go right today because I'm not feeling right. Okay, so then I just glued it on like that. And then that's what I did for the whole card, and I went all the way around. So I'm not going to let you guys sit here and watch me do that because that would be insane, but that's how I did it. And I just thought that these were so, so pretty. Put these back. Okay. And then all I did after that was I just went in with some of the embellishment stuff that I have, like my Nouveau crystal pen, my glitter gloss pen, and I went in here around the edge of my die, and I just added a little more shimmer to give my ornament a little bit more of a outline, because I didn't like how that stark white against that blue didn't blend very well. So I just took my gloss pen and I went around it. I love the sparkle that these pens have. Love, love, love. Okay, so after that, let me find the little piece in here. So I had done this one in just plain paper with a mirror card, and you can see the tonic light blue, powder blue, and then the medium blue, and then the darker gloss paper on the outside. And I did this one, and I thought, you know what? You could just pop dot that up right over top of where you did that stencil, and it would be just as gorgeous too. So I thought, how pretty would that be? And then if you look real closely, because everything matches, you can see those water droplet diamonds in the background underneath. Isn't that pretty? So when you're looking through, you're seeing 1, 2, 3, 4 actual layers. And I thought that would just be a beautiful card. And, you know, you could do that same thing that I showed you earlier with the ornament. And then that way, when they take it off, they have an ornament card. You know, so the card still looks pretty when they take the ornament off. So how about that? You could do that. So those of you that like to keep on giving, that's what I would recommend. So the other thing that I wanted to show you guys is that I pop dotted these up. So I took what I call micro dots, which I have found and I do carry those in my shop. They're little teeny tiny foam dots, and I pop dotted all 3 of the layers, but it does look good when you just glue all the layers together rather than pop dotting them. So I wanted to show you this one. So I took actually 4 layers and glued them one on top of another. So I put the red in the background, and then I used the 3 dyes in green, gold, and light green, and I made that one, and it's a little bit flat. So, you know, it's got 4 layers, but it's not pop dotted. And then I put my glossy, not glossy accents, I'm sorry, my glitter drops in there in red, and I just made it, you know, look like pearls on there. And then I added a poinsettia, and of course some holly from Susan's new collection, which I just love this holly, and then some of her branches. And I thought, isn't that a beautiful card that you could send to somebody highlighting that birch press ornament die? So these are some ways that I have found in the last couple of days to use these. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial or video or product release or whatever you want to call it. And I hope that you will let me know if I can get you some of these birch press dies. They're absolutely amazing. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. And Verna, please do send me your information so I can mail you your brush. And I hope that you guys have a great day. Lots of love. See you guys later. Bye.